I'm excited to introduce to you Phil Lear, one of the artists from My Name is Nobody.
Hello. This show kind of started out, there was a few friends of mine and we had the space available. We're trying to figure out what we could do together as a group to put a show together. And we tossed around a few ideas, and turns out we all really enjoyed history and kind of researching and getting into our work by getting involved in the subject matter that way. So we decided to do some Western themed things that people seem to resonate with that, so we thought that'd be a good idea, and we were excited about it. So we started looking at the different possibilities and kept bringing up interesting stories to each other, like, oh hey, I read about this one character, back in this bank robber, was really interesting, and we'd be sharing stories back and forth with these people, or like, yeah, check this guy out, or check this lady out. She ran like a stagecoach. She was crazy. She was nuts, but we'd interest each other in finding out about these weird characters that we'd never heard of from back in history, and so it kind of started to wrap itself up, like, why don't we illustrate, all these unknown, unheard of things, which are interesting to us, and that means we're going to be interested in doing the paintings, which means they will hopefully be that much more interesting to look at, because just the dynamic of loving what you're doing shows up, when you're making artwork. So we thought, let's do this. Let's have a show where we go and search out these interesting, not so well-known people, and put them on canvas and give them a bit of a spotlight. So this was just one of those things that kind of happened in researching some of these characters we were painting. I came across this one-armed sheriff who it's hard to find any information on the guy, even online, but there was a few paragraphs in this book that I was reading that mentioned him, and I was kind of interested, and so I thought, I want to do a painting of this guy. So what I had was I love working the way the old illustrators used to, where they bring in models, they dress them up, and they would pose things, and then take reference pictures and work from that, the way Rockwell or Harvey Dunn used to do. But this is actually a friend of mine, and he and this other guy came, and we had all this cowboy gear, and hats and pistols and belts and everything, that I borrowed from some theater friends of mine. And we went up to the studio, they dressed up, and then I was like, hey, I kind of want to see something like this. And they were all shooting at each other and knocking each other down on the floor and sitting around with whiskey bottles. We took all these great Western reference pictures, set up lighting and stuff. It was really cool. But I had an OK Corral commission to work on, so I was like, let me get some pictures of you guys shooting, as if you're in the middle of this, standoff. And I took this picture and ended up using it for this painting.
I'm excited to introduce to you Jess Preble, another artist from My Name is Nobody.
Hi, my name is Jess Preble, and we're all very happy that you were here. I'm a part of the show with 3 other artists in a collaboration. The title of the show is My Name is Nobody. You can see some of my pieces here behind me. One of the pieces that I had the most fun creating was probably this one here and this one up here. And the reason for that is it's subject matter that I have never painted before. And when you're delving into new territory, you don't ever expect it to turn out right. Most artists are perpetually pessimistic, but these 2 pieces I'm really pleased with how they turned out, and pleased with how my color palette turned with this show. And I'm excited for you to come and see the show yourself. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Jess. I'm excited to introduce to you Dave Tweedy, one of the artists from My Name is Nobody.
Hi, I'm Dave, and welcome to the show. It's fun making it for you, and I hope you enjoy looking at it.
Dave, what is your favorite piece in this exhibit of yours?
Probably the one behind me, or the other one over there, Native Girl, and exploring some new ways of pushing the medium.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Christian.
Hi, how are you?
So first I just want you to share a little bit about, how about let's just do a little backstory on the pieces that are behind you right now.
Fantastic. Yeah, so again, the show name is My Name is Nobody. And when we were putting this together, it was kind of interesting to do all the research, and we were trying to find these Western characters that had stories that not everybody knew about. And if you're a Western historian, of course you're going to know all these characters and this stuff. But for most people, they understand the basic characters that ran around these parts here and there. So I'm going to go through a couple pieces here. This is most important. Let's talk about Bass Reeves here. So Bass Reeves, and he's right next to who he is. He is based after, the Lone Ranger is based after Bass Reeves. Now Bass Reeves was this wonderful character who came from slavery and fought in the Civil War, then made it out to Oklahoma, and just was this extremely law-abiding citizen who had the knack for tracking and just taking down the most scourge of the earth outlaws that there were. And the hanging judge kind of employed him to do such things. He would go through and he'd get these wonderful warrants, and he'd go in, and he was just notorious for bringing these guys back, and he even would use costume to do such things. So he was very, very prolific when it came to capturing his wanted man. That's the Lone Ranger was again based off of that, and obviously you can see there's two different skin types here, which I found very interesting. That Bass Reeves was an African American who was able to do such things. If you ever get a chance, go ahead and research a little bit more about him, because he is got a fantastic story. And so that moves me over to my good friend over here, the Lone Ranger. Now the Lone Ranger, the reason I painted him was one, to compliment Bass Reeves, but two, I have just some really fond memories as a kid playing with the large action figures that had the hat came off, everything came off, and it was my friend's action figures, and I remember just going to his house, sleeping over, and getting into many wonderful, colorful stories playing with these guys. So I just had to do the iconic Lone Ranger for that. I'd like to move over to Mademoiselle Moustache. She was out here in the West. She was a gambler, and even owned a few casinos back in the day. Has a wonderful history that one can look up. But she did go by Madame Moustache, and she was a beautiful woman with just a bit more hair up on her upper lip, which seemed to just stick with her. And she was good with it. And this piece here, I really enjoyed painting. It was so much fun, because being able to kind of tell her story just through some small aspects of the painting. That hidden pocket card up underneath her arm there, her just asking for one card, knowing full well what she's going to be doing, and that she has a look that is kind of seducing. I love how that it shows that she's kind of got this distraction going on before she's going to run one over on you and take all of your money. then right behind me over here, this gentleman I painted actually a little while ago. However, I do enjoy. There's a look on this gentleman's face that I just could not deny, and I call this one a minor adjustment, and you see he's going to be doing a bit of electric shock therapy back in the day, and well, I just couldn't help it. He just has this smirk that I just could not stop myself from painting. That's I don't know too much about him, but I do know that he was in a mental institution at one point in time, and well, those are the things I kind of like.
And one last question.
Sure.
Well, actually, two questions. First, I'm curious, Christian. One thing I really love to ask artists is what inspires you to create?
I love the human condition, the social, economical, and political difficulties people see, and I want to represent that. I would say that a lot of my paintings are formulated around those items. It inspires me to get that out and let people know not just the pretty pictures of a flower, trees, the things that people love to put in their homes, and I agree with all of that 100%. However, I do like the unknown things, and being able to express that and allowing another person to connect to those type of feelings or gestures or ideas, and that really kind of sparks creativity in myself. So that's one of the things I mean.
Yeah. And sadly, you will be moving. So this is your last, as of right now, possibly last exhibit in Colorado Springs. Maybe you'll come back and do another exhibit, but where can people find you? Do you have a website? No, they can come see you.
I actually stay away from a lot of those items. I'm not big on social media. I kind of, I have to say, I kind of paint for myself mostly. Okay. It's just something that I like to do, and if the idea and image strikes me, I'm gonna paint that. And as for my departure from Colorado Springs, it's sad. I have to do it. I have my own personal reasons for leaving. There are a few people here I'm going to miss dearly. But that does not mean I'm not going to be able to continue to maybe do a show here and there for Colorado Springs. I'm in direct contact with one of the people who are actually painting for this show, and he and I
who is right there
extensively about the Lear.
Yeah.
Extensively about possibly entertaining another show. So I don't think that the Springs has heard the last of me, or has gotten rid of having to appear at the images that I shove in front of them. But
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Christian.
Yes, absolutely.